welcome back to another sexy episode of the Film Alchemist podcast, the show where we take the movies we love, break them apart to find out what gives them their magic. I'm your host, Josh Griffey, joined as always by my friend, co-host, and just a lawyer who does not cross his I's and dot his T's.
Hang on, let me do it in my Kathleen Turner voice. Alex Dandino.
Oh my God, he's so fucking hot. That's her voice now, not in the movie. Because as we see,
God.
Yeah, chain smoking in Florida does not end well for your vocal cords. But that's neither here. That would be a great podcast we should start on the side, is a deep examination of celebrity voices from like first picture to like 35 years of smoking.
35 years of smoking. I'm down. Absolutely.
That might be what this willpodcast turns into if I don't find some fucking willpower.
Conceivably, the three main talent in this movie that we all remember all had that happen. So
all big. Yeah, that could be me. Oh my God. Oh my God. Can you believe they did this to them? Neither here nor there. We got some business to get to before we get all revved up, torqued up. Guys, it's official. Yeah, before we get stuffed. We are on Patreon. That's right, patreon.com. Come on over. You can stuff us there. For as little as $1 a month, you get in. You join the community, a stuffing-free community. All we do is just stuff your ears with delightful content.
We're giving you the goods.
Content, yeah, you get our exclusive Patreon library. You get a vote on the movies you want to add to said library. You get commentaries. You get new mini-features, mini-series, right? So our Tales from the Grift is dropping soon, if not already. So go over there if you love Tales from the Crypt or the pod. Any support is greatly appreciated, guys. So for those of you who are about to, thank you. It means the world to us. For those of you who already do, thank you as well. The YouTube you can subscribe to, Film Alchemist. The email, filmalchemistpod@gmail.com. We're on all the socials you're on. And make sure you leave those 5-star ratings and reviews wherever and everywhere you find the show. All right, Alex.
All right.
Butter thy biscuits.
Body heat.
Butter your biscuits with good old-fashioned humidity sweat. It's time to roll around in crime and nefarious actions in body heat. We had a debate earlier, right? What was the hottest movie of the month? Oh my God, you're Andrew Dice Claying it? Well, it's a good run. Now we're canceled because Alex is slipping into character.
Hello, sorry.
Oh my God, it's so fucking hot.
So fucking hot outside.
The only way to break this heat is to clap cheeks. Let's go. Right? That's essentially what's his name?
Funny.
Yeah, William Hurt in this movie.
That's William Hurt's character in this movie.
Oh my God.
Hello, I'm Ned Racine. Let's clap cheeks.
Okay, we will not do the smoker voice more than 55 more times. I promise you. So this movie takes place in the South in a sweltering heat wave. It is a mix of sex and crime, intrigue.
Florida.
This is Florida. Lots of fucking Florida-ing. This movie
really
is just top-notch. Like every element of storytelling that I enjoy, this movie has it, right? A great cast, a great mystery at the core. This kind of inevitable Damocles sword of bad things that we know are coming, but we're really excited to get there, right? The movie takes turns pounding our brain, right? And then pounding the characters. Keeping us on this inevitable death
pounding
loop,
each other,
right?
yes.
Yeah. So it's a lot of pounding and sweat. But just a wonderful fucking ride of a film, no pun intended. Alex, opening thoughts on Body Heat.
I mean, for Lawrence Kasdan's directorial debut, not bad.
Stellar.
Like, he really fucking knocked it out of the park, man. Great cast, yes. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize this. Apparently, it is the theatrical debut of one Kathleen Turner. Had no idea.
This was her first movie?
Her first, on-screen...
Kathleen Turner Overdrive, yeah.
Kathleen Turner Overdrive. Her first film credit. It was pretty fascinating.
Amazing. She's really good in this movie.
Yeah, and then, of course, William Hurt. You get early on, Mickey Rourke, which is interesting.
Baby and Mickey Rourke.
He's still super handsome. This was the time this between now and I think 89 was super handsome still.
Yeah, before the boxing went awry, yeah.
Before the boxing thing started. He's another one who's got smoker voice from 35 years of just
oh hell yeah, that guy loves darts.
Yeah, just crushing camels. It's Body Heat's a really fascinating neo-noir. It borrows from a lot of these really great places and is really self-conscious of the fact that it's borrowing from a lot of these really great places, because there's things that I felt necessarily drew attention to itself on purpose, but never in a way that felt like parody. It was always very much pastiche, which I really think is a hard thing to do. And that's why Lawrence Kasdan is the man, and he was so great. And this movie is just so much fun to watch. I mean, again, like, it is the most Florida I've ever seen a Florida movie, other than the Florida Project.
This is not the most Florida.
Other than the Florida Project, this movie is pretty up there in terms of Florida.
This is a level of class that Florida rarely hits on screen. We
Hard-
got mansions
hard
and
no on
fucking
that.
wind chimes. We got people wearing shirts.
If you
This
go
is a
to
classier version of Florida.
if you get off the like Miami Beach area, if you drive into like Miami-Dade County, this is these people. Like,
This
I'm very
is
familiar
the
with this area.
Florida that people dream about when they're going to Florida for vacation.
This is the Florida that the olds
You
assume
think, yeah,
they're going
Magic
to.
Kingdom for your kids, and then magic clapping at night for you.
Right. If,
This is the Florida they're dreaming of.
The Florida, like, I don't know if they still have it there, but in Disney World they had like the after hours Disney park was it was literally called Pleasure Island, which I'm like, weird connotation there.
That's amazing.
But
Okay, so bottom 5 places I would ever want to be on any given day include Disney World, right?
yeah,
Just an absolute fucking hellhole that people just love to go waste their fucking dumb money at. Just one of the worst things. And if you're a grown-up who's like really into Disney, that does lower my opinion of you. Not you and Andrea, Alex, of course. Love you guys.
we don't.
You
go
guys
Disney.
had the pass. You had the pass.
Oh yeah, we had the pass for a while. It was nice because we were able to take the nephews and stuff like that. But yeah,
Sure.
like once
you
we
were taking your ass there to drink around the world.
That's not in Disneyland. You're thinking of Disney. Disney World is like if you have a season pass to Disney World.
Yeah,
God
Florida. Florida
Disneyland.
is Disney World.
Disneyland's a little easier because California, like the California Adventure thing, is like adult time. But yeah,
The point is, that place should be full of children who are
Sure.
tricked by paper mache and rocks and stupid shit like that.
Correct.
Not grown-ups who want to fucking go get drunk, be in lines all day, get fucking sunburns, and pay $500 for a lightsaber. That's an
We'll never
embarrassing way to
understand
live your
people who
life.
want to stand in lines at the Disneyland. I fully agree.
Not to also fucking just shit on Disneyland people. Big respects, Disney. What's up? Bottom 5 worst places you will ever find me. Top 5 places I would love to get down. Like, I would love to go to Disney and just be like, I'm gonna fucking soil everything. You know what I mean? Get Howard the
easy.
Duck in here because we're gonna need some mops. I'm ready.
Yeah, I feel like Disney World's like, again, Disneyland's a little different. Disney World, like when I was a kid, of course, it was like we went. That was like
Disneyland is like 80% adult hipsters, and it is garbage.
yes, correct. But like so Disney World like was still like pretty kid friendly, which is great. You know, like again, I really like that was like the cool vacation when we were kids. Obviously, like we went to Cape May,
Yes.
New Jersey a
When
lot,
you're
which
kids.
just because we had family there. But like 1 year we went to Disney World, which was fucking rad. Like that was like a huge
For a
deal.
child, when you're an adult, you want to be down there at the fucking chime room.
Yeah, you
Get
want to
it
be
in.
in Pine Haven, listening to wind chimes, seeing people's sweaty
That's what I'm
bods.
talking about.
pressed
That
up
might be a
against
new
the
thing
glass.
for me. The wind chimes? That was a really nice
Man.
touch in the movie.
Okay, I wrote this down. I wanted to ask you about it. Like, I actually, it's funny. My reaction to it was like, I was waiting for one time. Can someone shut those fucking chimes up? Like, it was so loud when he was trying to bang. But
No, it's
apparently
this
it worked.
constant
Good for them.
rattle, right? It's this constant, hey, this shouldn't be happening. This is a dream state. This is not a good thing. It's this constant soft melodic soundtrack to his fucking sexual ruination.
Right.
And
His
it's
sexual
lovely.
bacchanal. Yeah.
But that's what I mean. This movie, one of the things I love is it's such a visceral movie experience, right? It's very tactile. So every time he's there fucking, right? It's this constant fucking cacophony of wind chimes, right?
Yeah.
When they're in the diner, it's like the fucking oppressive bright lights that, you know, are overexposed in the windows, the fucking sweat, the heat.
Yeah.
The lens, it has that kind of soft late night vibe, right? So it's always so fucking sweaty and it's so fucking noisy.
It's interesting the daytime stuff does have that like frosted, like somebody came on the lens thing, which is always like this. It's always like this thing from
Tell me
70s
before that
movies.
happens, and then you do the umbrella guy.
Yeah, but like it's always, and yeah, the night stuff is really gritty, and
Still hot. Still a lot of sweating.
There's a lot of sweating. Actually, that was like one of my favorite. The first time so obviously like look, William Hurt's is sleazy lawyer.
We'll talk about. Are you talking about the entrance, the grand entrance?
Yeah, we've got to talk about that.
All right, we'll get. So essentially, William Hurt's character. Let's set this up a little bit. William Hurt character is this fucking dick slinging lawyer, right? A different one every day.
Yeah,
I love the opening, right? This man just sitting there in his fucking skivvies, watching this house. That's my childhood. My memory's burning up, right? The good days on fire, right? And he's just fucking slinging shit. Like, you're down with me. You don't. Is care.
She a hooker? The girl?
I don't think so. Because the other one, he's fucking a nurse. I think it's just like he has like a Village People checklist. He's just running them through.
Yeah.
So he's just this dick slinging lawyer who's bad at his job, right? Lo and behold, one night he's out trying to sling and he meets this lady in a white dress, right? They get a snow cone. They're fucking bantering. She gets a stay. Oh, you want to lick it? And then she's gone, right? So this sends this lawyer on this fucking trail, right? He is hunting this lady.
Yeah.
I think this is a weird way for the movie to start, but it works really well, right? This is a guy who is in no drought of getting it in.
Yeah.
For some reason, he so latches onto this lady. And most importantly, before he knows, she's super fucking rich.
Right. Well, I mean, like, I don't know. I think he knows she's not like him. I'll say that.
Well, yeah.
He points it out when they're talking. They're like, you look like you're from Pine Haven. Like, it's this whole thing where it's like, also it's a weird name for a Florida town is Pine Haven. But either way,
noted.
But yeah, like he literally points out, he's like, what are you riches doing down here with us regular people? And like, it is this weird little, again, this is the part that's like this really fun pastiche of these like movies is because a lot of people liken this to Double Indemnity, which I understand. But what I like is their back and forth, and that first scene is so like textbook dialogue. And they, again, it's one of those weird things where you're watching it and you kind of know what's happening, but you're like, am I turned on right now? What's going on here? Like, it's this really
answer is yes, you are.
Absolutely.
Even the whole
it's very
game with
weird.
Them, right? Sitting in that bar, right? You know, where he's talking shit and she's like, oh, let me guess, you got a tool for that. I don't talk like that. And there's just these snappy, when she fucking smacks him though, I was like, I don't know about everyone else, but I stiffened up my back. And I was like, oh, I took notice. You know what I mean? I was like, this is taking a step.
Listen, there's certainly some tumescence. You can't avoid it. Like, it just is what it is.
But it's just, it has this palpable heat, right? We are in this environment of constant sensual, not even sensual, but sensory overload. And when you drop the sensualness, it's like your whole body, every system of your body is like getting cranked up so that you feel it. To the point where one of the most absurd fucking moments in any movie occurs and you go, yeah, this seems about right. I'm in on this, right?
Right.
So William Hurt, she's like, yeah, you can just come see my fucking wind chimes. But that's it. I swear that's it, right? So he goes and sees the chimes. She kicks his ass out.
That is my favorite exchange in the movie, by the way. Like, just the chimes. Yeah,
like,
ladies,
yeah, bitch, I said just
chimes.
the fucking chimes. How dare you?
How funny would it be if that was the movie? It's like, yeah, bitch, jeez, quit asking me about the wind chimes. I just want to see your goddamn wind chimes. Get out of it.
There is this amazing shot, though, because he gets sent down to his car, and he's just staring up, right? It's like you see King Kong for the first time.
Yeah,
and it is just this fucking chime-induced horny overload that he cannot stand. This scene is at once so amazingly shot.
Yeah.
This is one of the fucking most ludicrous decisions I've ever seen a character make.
Through the window, so it's through the windows, and I like the way that the Lawrence Kasdan uses the windows in this, like this scene particularly, because it's like there's refractions and all these kind of. It's this really fun like in camera.
She's sitting there like the Princess Leia hologram in R2D2.
Like
oh,
old timey like old. It's like an old noir flick vibe. Is like refracting people through like mirrors and shit like that. So yeah, finally, it's like he's just overcome.
He can't He like tries to unlock.
First off, he can't like.
He's like, I'm gonna get open a door. Fucking chime. Well, because they're locked.
She won't open it for him because
right.
He only came to see the wind chimes.
Hard to get.
Yeah. So It's not like, but he's not a vampire, so he doesn't have to be invited in. So
Clearly
instead,
not.
he, again, baffling decision because just never addressed again. He takes, I think, a planter from the outside and throws it through the window.
Fucking smashes her entire fucking window
to
open.
pieces.
And then
It's like a
storms
trellis
in
door.
over the these fucking like giant windows, smashes it and walks in, and she's like, "Oh God, yes!" And they start just throwing down on the
just
fucking table,
destroying each other on the ground and table.
Yeah,
like
I had to say, this is maybe because I'm now a little older. When I was younger, I was like, "Hell yeah." Don't break my fucking house.
Yeah,
We can
don't
fuck
do
without
that.
breaking
Don't
my
break
house.
the pieces.
Now I gotta call
it's a
guy.
nice house too.
It's annoying. And also, she's
Actually,
like, "Oh, we got to be careful." My
then
husband's
afterwards, so if they're gonna fook, then afterwards, someone's gonna have to clean that up.
Yeah, exactly. But this is
okay.
actually a brilliant choice, right? Because I think it's one of those things where normal people are supposed to watch that and be like, "Man, I don't fuck like that anymore. I don't fuck like that. I don't throw shit through my door to get to my wife. You know what I mean? We don't fuck like that." So you're supposed to be all like, "Oh my God, the heat." What it's actually showing us just crystal clear is how absolutely perfect of a fool William Hurt's character truly is.
Totally.
Ned Racine is just
the dumbest
half of a human being stuck in this fucking dick slinging body.
The dumbest lawyer.
He's just
and
the
dumbest dick slinger.
Dumbest fucking guy. And I think in that moment, this is her way to test how fucking stupid is this guy. Oh, super stupid. Okay, the plan can proceed.
This will go very easily.
It is a ludicrous choice. Like the first time I saw it, I was just dying laughing. I was like, "You got to be fucking kidding me!"
I had to rewind it because I was just
sense.
like, I hope I didn't miss something because I could not stop laughing.
No, he is just this guy who has never been good at anything, trying to fucking beef his life up right through fucking pussy.
There's this other, because they have to make everybody look super sweaty because it's super hot in Florida in this movie. Mm-hmm. There's this other thing though in this scene when they start just grabbing up on each other and everything. She throws her hands around and starts pressing into the small of his back where there's huge sweat stains down the back of his shirt. And all I could think was like, in a 2022 version of Body Heat, some woman would be like, "Ew, ick, ew, no,
yeah,
I don't wanna
smelly,
touch that." Like gross."
Okay, hot take number 2: super sweaty sex is the most overrated kind of sex.
Gross.
Have you ever been like, "Man, I just want to like kiss the nape of my wife's neck," but also have the experience of a deer at a salt lick? Like, gross. I don't want that. I don't want to be fucking like getting all this extra fucking sweat and dirt out of your pores. Yeah, like, a little sweaty, hot,
little sweaty. that's what it is. But like, because that's
like a whore in church sweating.
Yeah,
not
whore
as
in
good
church
as
sweaty's
advertised.
not great, and that's what the like. And that's like
even for the woman, not just me. I am a sweater.
So they, you see that was the other thing too. Like I was thinking about like every time I've come home like from anything where I'm super sweaty, like the first thing Andrea says like I don't want to touch you yet.
Yeah, gross.
Like, can you take a shower?
Fucking gross. Take a shower.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. You want just enough so the locks are activated. So when I do that, hi, and I whip my head back, you know what I mean? She's like, "Oh my God."
There's something primal about that past any more sweat, and that's not going to work. But
just enough to show you were doing something. You don't want to have the kind of sex where you both stand up and pull your trousers on. You're like, "Good day," and you can go back out in the world.
They start this torrid love affair.
Right.
Can I ask one thing though?
We are getting
there's
derailed
the scene.
here. They're getting
scene,
railed.
So after they get railed, they rail each other a few times. There's the scene where they're in the bathtub together.
Hot. Amazing.
I got to tell you, doesn't make any sense to me. Like this is now not the sexual part. The sexual part, of course, is pretty laid out.
They're making fucking beef stew in the heat. What are you talking about?
Not a whole lot of sense to be made. But here's my thing. Kathleen Turner and her husband are rich people. Right. There's no way they could not turn the AC on in the house. I'm just saying.
I don't think AC was prevalent back then. I think this was before the air-conditioned revolution.
Even in Pine Haven, you think they wouldn't have AC units?
I mean, this was what, the mid-70s?
Also, they only had like 4 ice cubes left.
They probably drink a lot. They do a lot on the rocks. I'm just saying, them laying in that fucking clawfoot tub all draped out, Like it's almost as if their heads are connected. Like there's some kind of like, ogre beast. Yeah, I was in on that.
Yeah, see, like I can't.
That's the other thing. You're also a kind of overweight guy like me. The last time I've been able to fit in a bathtub, I can't even remember. Like the whole time I lived in LA apartments, like you cannot sit in those tubs.
Well, even when you have a bathtub, like it's just like
we had one on our honeymoon in Hawaii. It was just luxurious. I was getting little coconut floaters and putting these fucking candles around. I was just like luxuriating in it.
The only time I've ever used
I would line the beers up on the edge of the fucking tub, and I'd have my little candles floating around. I'd turn on some Creed, and I would fucking have a great time. Hawaiian ambiance.
The only time I've ever used a bathtub, is there's one bathtub in the world that I actually will use as a bathtub, which is the Palms Place in Las Vegas.
Is that a sex thing?
No, it's legitimately like just like a jacuzzi in someone's hotel room. So
see, don't you miss tubs though? As a big guy,
not really. I like showers,
especially one big enough that you can luxuriate with your lover.
I don't want to sit in a pool of my tepid filth. Like that's disgusting. Like no, shower.
You have so little romance in you, young man.
What are you talking about?
You need more romance.
Well, I don't think a bathtub.
They're sitting there making beef stew. They're simmering together. It's fucking hot.
What's wrong with shower sex? What's wrong with that?
It's not about the cleaning. It's about the fucking bonding. Their essences becoming one.
I know. And if you're sitting there in a hot, steamy shower, your body's just undulating towards one another.
Yes.
Isn't that infinitely hotter?
I feel like we have to be like William Hurt and say, "Don't talk to me about the heat again." Yes, it's a very hot movie. Everything is sweaty as shit. Here's one thing I said.
I didn't say anything about the heat. I said with the shower. You cut me off.
Watching people put suit jackets on, that's just a dumb person behavior.
Gross.
Don't wear suits in the fucking heat wave. Neither here nor there. Make the beef stew with your partner. That's what you should do. We're both on agreement on that, I think.
No.
Make the beef stew with your partner. Make the beef stew with Andrea. That's neither here.
I've said, let's just not do this. Let's not get into that.
What did you make of the bathtub? No, just kidding. Ned takes a turn fast.
Yeah.
So he's getting laid. He's liking it. Why is Ned so absolutely anxious to commit this crime, right? They had this really fun scene where there's this cat and mouse where, she's kind of like, I know what I want, but I can't say it. It's crazy. And he's like, don't say it. Mm-hmm. And he starts laying it out, right? The very next scene, he's like, yeah, let's fucking go. Let's kill this guy. Maybe there's a little bit in between, right? Essentially, she buys him a hat, and he's like, yeah, we should kill him.
She buys him a cool detective hat, and he's like, well, I guess we're going to kill him now.
Why is this guy so absolutely gung-ho? This crusher of women throughout town, right? He adds another one to the belt. Why is this guy who works in the law, right? As Mickey Rourke said, right? There's 50 ways you can mess up a crime. You're a genius if you get 25 of them. And you ain't a genius. Why is he so gung-ho to commit this fucking crime?
I feel like, to me, Ned's whole purpose in this movie is to prove to everyone, because like they set it up really well with the first lawyering scene. Mm-hmm. Where, like, because you never really see Ned do much lawyering other than just that first thing.
You never really see him do much of anything except for
other
sex.
Other than sex and jogging and
breaking
being punctuated by a smoke. It's one of those things where, like, Ned clearly is not a very good lawyer. Like they pointed out at the very beginning where they're literally like, "Listen, man, I'm going to let this go on for like 5 more minutes and then we're just going to like call it because this guy clearly like fucking hosed." Like he comes in with like a weak case, the whole thing. Like he's not defending great people anyways. He's an ambulance chaser type guy, which again, if that's how you make your living, that's how you make your living. But then it's an ambulance chaser mixed with a guy who's literally fucking his clients and that kind of stuff. So that makes him sleazy.
I thought they were about to say he fucked that old lady that was in his office.
I thought so too.
Like that's how they present Ned to us.
But like that's to me is like that exactly. Like Ned is this sort of like just very not like the level of dishonesty in his lawyering essentially. Like there's nothing about Ned that makes you think, oh, this guy's going to make good decisions. This guy's going to make the right decisions for himself. So, like, to me, Ned deciding to do that is almost like trying to prove to the audience, like, listen, I have proven up to this point I can make terrible choices, but this might seem like a terrible choice, but I can totally pull it off because this chick is just, like, all about my thing. I threw a fucking planner.
If that is his inner monologue, that is the fucking. I mean, it's true. I did forget a key element though, right? Because she says that, like, I think I want him dead on the beach. There are actually two enormous scenes before he, like, jumps in all the way. I think in that moment he's already like, I'll probably be down for whatever. The two scenes between. Dinner for three, right?
I was going to say the dinner for three was like the moment where I was like, oh, this is how
he sits with him, right? And the guy's like, you know, the husband, if I ever found a shoe, I killed a man with my bare hands. Then he goes on this diatribe about the guy she used to be with was this dumbass who, like, didn't do the work. Sounds very Ned-like, right?
Yeah.
And he just starts the, they're not willing to do what's necessary, right? Whatever's necessary. Not the homework, whatever's necessary, right? And he kind of sets this great tone. The next scene is Heather arrives at the house, and she has to babysit her husband's niece.
Yeah.
He cannot wait a long weekend. He has to run in and fuck this lady right away, right? He jumps her on the balcony. She goes down for a mouth shot, and the little niece just walks in and sees them, right? Ted Danson later jokes that she said the man was sweaty and bald, which is just an insane fucking line in the movie. Like, this is a crazy fucking thing that happens. There is this, in that moment when he makes that choice, there is this fatalistic mindset, right? That I will fucking take what I want from this guy who, he's the guy who's always done it and I'm the fucking loser, right? There's like this, I'm going to stick it to that guy. So maybe, I don't know if you saw it. Maybe it's just this, you know, I don't even think it's just that this is his path to, like, just be on a beach having sex, right? I think there's a small part of him that's tired of these, like, fucking titans of their industries telling him he sucks at things.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just, again, it's sort of this class warfare thing almost. At least that's how it comes off to me at some moments. Like, I mean, truth be told, I don't think Ned's that smart to, like, make that decision. So I think a lot of it's just like, I really want to fuck this lady and get rich for a while. And so he's going to do that. But there is this sort of, like, class warfare beat under, like, the kind of like a subtext for it, I guess, of like, oh, he's finally going to pull one over on the rich guy. And, like, this goes to, like, you know, getting, like, advice from a Mickey Rourke character who's, like, out on bail or not.
What's he got, Ned hooked him up to where he was off.
Right. He got off, but
yeah. But there is this moment, right? Like, he could just have sex with this lady and rub it in the rich guy's face. When he tells Kathleen Turner, he's like, if you didn't have any money, it wouldn't really matter to me. I think that's one of those things every, you know, guy would say in the moment, right? Or every partner would be like, yeah, okay, like, that's fine. That shit comes easy to say, right? And then when you're put to the test, it's different. In that moment, though, I think Ned actually is right. I don't think he actually gives a shit that she's rich. You know what I mean? I think there is a part of him that's like, just having her is somehow making him feel better about himself, right? That her lot in life, or that everyone that sees her is like, she's a looker. You'd remember her. Like, maybe that's just enough, right? Because the leap to murder feels, if this movie had, like, a kind of crack to me, that is such a fucking extreme leap. You know what I mean? This is not a guy who's like, finally, my first girlfriend. Like, this is a big fucking jump, man.
Well, I think in movies like this, like noirs in this way, like, those jumps are usually logic leaps you have to take with the movie.
I feel like in those movies, though, we're of an era where the sex was more withheld. Like, the sex is constant and upfront in this one.
Well, no, like, the sex is different. Like, I'm not talking about that. Like, but the motivation and, like, the reasoning for doing it, like, in those earlier movies, and, like, those noirs, like, the logic leap you have to take is very specific. So you take it with, the audience takes it with your, you know, your main person. Like, in a movie like Double Indemnity, and even like Detour and a couple of other movies like that. Like, you take the leap with that person. This is asking the same thing, because I agree it goes from like 0 to 100 really quickly.
Yeah.
And you're just like, Jesus Christ. I mean, like, by the time things have all happened and like you're dealing with the aftermath, there's only like 40 minutes of the movie left. Like, this movie's 2 hours.
Yeah.
This movie's 2 hours long. Spent a lot of time getting to like, oh, we totally murdered this guy. Like,
yeah, and honestly, the best stuff happens after. Like, the murder is pretty
bland.
inconsequential, right? Yeah. She's banging her other husband. She's like, more. He's like, God, you trying to kill me? Oh, I'm old. Yeah. And I was like, all right, got it, check. And then he gets a gun, and she yelled, he has a gun, which he definitely shot in the house, which the cops should have found. So now we know the investigators are also dumb. Like, you would find a bullet hole in the house and no nefarious play had been afoot, right?
Right.
Duh. Yeah. Neither here nor there. So he takes them to this place, and they're going to blow it up, right? That's kind of the big thing Mickey Rourke was helping with, was this bomb. It just kind of happens, right? The awesome part is what comes next, right? Like, this is where it gets really good, right? Because Mickey Rourke keeps telling him, don't do it, don't do it. He's setting up in Miami so he can come back and do this shit, right? The aftermath of this is so fucking hard to stomach. Because the moment Ned does this, we know he has fucked up enormously.
Yeah, for sure.
And they have several great devices, right? One is his friend showing up at the fucking lawyer meeting, right? Because she changed the fucking will, which he said not to do. And from the moment that scene hits, it is this unbearable sequence of events where we know and Ned knows that he has fucked up so massively. And just watching it unroll, we know that she fucked him. And it's so tense, right? What do you make of this bit as we go? And how they keep it that tense, even though we fucking know the game at this point.
Well, isn't it kind of interesting that, like, it's tense because we know the game? I think that's what it is.
Because we know and they know. And that's the thing, though. Usually there's, like, something they're trying. Like, every single character knows what's happened, essentially. They could dance around it, but they know.
Yeah, everybody knows. Like, I think that's the game. That's what it is like, it's the worst kept secret in the whole movie.
But now we got to get them on the legal checks. Yeah, okay, I'm with you on that.
That's what I think. That's what I think really it boils down to is, we're at the, once we get to that point in the movie where we're like, well, you did it, right? Like every single person has this moment with Ned where they're like, dude, for real? Like, just fucking...
It's fucking brutal. That scene when he's like, hey, the mom and daughter are here to identify the penis. You should go out the back door. And he's like, no, I'll go to the front door, and just stares them in the face. That is such a fucking amazing moment, right? I mean,
like, even as the stuff, like the phone calls and all this shit that's like totally like throwing his alibi out the window is happening. He is
they were calling his apartment or his hotel and no one answered, right? Where are the glasses? Yeah.
There's like this defiant quality to like, and it's not admirable, by the way, at all. It's like the stupidest thing you could be doing is like being like, wasn't me. I didn't do it. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, it was definitely, and then like, I think what's interesting more is like further trying to prove your innocence. Like thinking
which he barely even does.
Exactly. Like, it's almost like he doesn't care because he knows. That's what I think is interesting. Maybe that's what it is.
He knows that his friends are good at their jobs or on the case, and he's in big trouble.
I think the tension is in that we all know Ned's fucked. Mm-hmm. Ned kind of knows he's fucked. The tension is in how bad is he going to get fucked at this point? Like, is it going to be like the electric chair
that telephone call? When she's like, oh, my love, because we find out, Teddy in prison was like, hey, man, she came and asked for another fucking bomb and to door rig it. His fucking face, and then he gets the call where she's like, my love, I got the glasses. Oh, you had the glasses. Oh, it's this thing. Just go in the boathouse and open the door and get them. His face during that call,
where he knows.
I was like, that's where William Hurt soars, right? That's just one of those acting moments. Just sitting there blank, essentially. But his eyes are telling us his whole world has just exploded like that boathouse is about to. And
I mean, that is a great,
fucking amazing.
I think that moment, the two moments I think are his finest acting moments are that moment, and then when he walks up to the woman he thinks is Maddie, says, "Hey, lady, want to fuck?"
Hey, lady, want to fuck? I mean, there's a couple. His fake laughing with Ted Danson when they mock about how he traumatized a 7-year-old girl with his penis. His fake laugh. that was pretty good. That was spot on. It's just, it's this almost brutal cat and mouse because it's more like watching. I remember my dad when we were young. He got
it's not even cat and mouse. It's literally just watch this mouse.
He wanted to get these nature VHSs, right? This big series, right? Pretend whatever the fuck they were. They were like the nature shows,
right?
And we got all VHS. It was the first time I'd ever seen this, but it was the orcas just fucking smacking seals up into the air with their tails. So as they hit them and they'd hit the water, their fucking bones would like crush and their innards would liquefy. So the orcas enjoyed eating them more. That's what this movie is. Ned is just a stupid seal getting pulped. And when he confronts, this is an interesting moment, when he confronts Maddie and she's like, "I'll go get the glasses. No matter what, I did love you." That's one of those moments, and by the end of the movie, I actually had to pause and think, did she actually catch feelings?
No.
Like, not even a little. You don't think maybe she just loves Ned because of him being so stupid she was able to use him? Why say it if she doesn't believe it at all?
I think with how the movie ends, like with her on the beach.
She's there with this fucking international Lothario and she looks miserable.
With the quote, like all that stuff. I think that maybe she just misses that really average penis that William Hurt threw down. No, I mean, like, I don't think she caught feelings at all, man. Like, I really don't.
I think she did appreciate him on some level.
I mean, I think she appreciated how far he was willing to go to help
that
her
has to
achieve her
mean
goals.
something. If someone would, like, kill for me, I'd be like, weird, I don't want that. But that shows a lot of devotion.
Well, this is like always this is sort of how I feel about the Legend of Sleepy Hollow. It's the same edict though. It's just like if you want to get laid, you need to be willing to murder too. Like that's like the same.
That's a lot.
It's the same basic like principles.
I can't imagine what kind of sex I'd have to kill someone for it. And weirdly, there's an entire channel, Investigation Discovery, which is just a wife or husband want to have sex with someone else and then murders ensue. So it happens all the time.
It happens all the time, but I agree with you. I cannot.
But why say that line? Stick the knife in. She knows what's about to happen. I mean, clearly she set it up. Her friend's body's in there, right? She has an assumed identity.
Right.
Why say that, though? Because that's an audience of one. She's not even saying it loud enough so that Oscar can hear it. She's saying it just to his ass.
I mean, stylistically, you say it because it's one of those things that you say in those kinds of movies. I mean, but to me, it's always about, this is going to sound bad. It's like customer service. You send them out on a high note. It's like, oh, she loved me. Great. Whatever. I mean, I'm about to go to jail anyway, so. I don't know.
But he knows. I'll tell you, I actually like the jail bit. I thought the jail bit at the end was very clever. Not she's alive, like when he wakes up like he's, in the gift. Mm-hmm. Like I don't like that moment per se, but him laying it out to Oscar, pretty fucking cool, right? I don't know how he figured out where to get her high school yearbook.
Right.
But that was such a cool fucking wrapper on this.
Yeah.
Right? And because he even says that, right? That was Maddie's great ability, is that she was relentless. She could do what was necessary. So her husband, who had talked shit about how he hated people that couldn't do that, so fucking underestimated and devalued his wife, he didn't realize that one of those people was in his own home. And neither did Ned, and they all got. Right? And I think it's weird that she looks so sad at the end. But it wraps up in this amazing way. I thought it was really fun.
She looks sad in the way that, like...
She looks sad, dude. She's like, I want to be back in that fucking beef stew.
I want to be in that beef stew in my Pine Haven house.
I want my Nettie bear.
With my broken windows.
Yeah.
That no one ever fixed.
Yeah, this fucking international gentleman, he's not throwing shit in my house. You know what I mean? He's all fancy and refined
I think
and
she's
cultured.
Sad that maybe, okay, how about this?
Ned is just culturally trash with a dick for a nose.
But here, this is what to your point.
Yeah.
Who else? This is what she misses. Who else is going to throw a planter through a window to fuck her? That's, I think, that's like the. I mean, like, I know that's a really crass way to put it.
Would you not be pretty?
That's a really crass way to put it. We talked about this on
another episode. If someone broke into your house and left presents for you, you were like, "That's creepy," and I was like, "I'd be turned on." This is kind of that same ethical area,
right? But like, using your logic, yeah, like that would probably be the thing you're like jonesing for. Is like, I'm never gonna find someone who's that passionate about. Like, I'll find like love again, sure, but I'm never gonna find someone who's that like can't let literally a home stand between me and that person. Like that's what she's wistful for.
Maybe she misses that level of passion. At that point, she loses her relentlessness. What is there to be relentless about? Maybe that's what she misses.
She's achieved her goal. Like maybe she's just like it's
is
one
that
of those
her
things
goal
where,
though? Is to just be on that beach with that drink?
Well,
it doesn't seem like it.
It's in the yearbook. That's the bit.
Maybe she wants to just roll over these fucking guys that treat her like that.
I mean, if it's a Black Widow thing, I'm all for that. That's great.
Maybe. I don't know. I thought it was weird. She seems sad as shit at the end of the movie. And she says she loves Ned, so maybe that's it. I don't know. But you don't have to know, right? The palpable sweatiness of this movie.
You don't have to know because you got to dry the sweat from your eyes. To
we always had Paris. We always had Paris, that kind of moment.
Was some movie that was super sweaty recently that we watched, and I was like, this movie is infinitely sweatier.
There is one I watched. It was this weird Australian fucking movie where they had like legitimate kangaroo murders in the movie. It was like a big controversy because the games department was like, you should film shooting these to make people feel bad for poaching kangaroo. It's a weird movie. This guy gets lost in this sweaty town and starts gambling on weird shit. And then he's just like broing down and becomes homeless. It's very strange.
Jesus.
Neither here nor there. This is one of the best sweaty films I've ever seen. It's an amazing erotic thriller film. So that's it for Body Heat. We hope that you feel sufficiently stuffed. We hope you're having a great time with this month's curation. We have one final stuffing ahead, which is 9.5 weeks. Again, Mickey Rourke making it into our erotic thriller. He almost made it into Angel Heart. That was one of our possibilities, but we'll get to that someday. We hope you guys are having a good time with this. If you want more Film Alchemist, make sure you go over to patreon.com/filmalchemistpod. The best way to support the show. We have tons of awesome stuff over there. We're working really hard to earn your support over there. So if you would be so kind, that would mean the world to us. The YouTube Film Alchemist, the email filmalchemistpod@gmail.com. Make sure you're leaving those 5-star ratings and reviews. You can find us on social media. That's it. Until next time, I'm Josh Griffey.
I'm Alex Dandino.